that catch you off guard? Because sometimes people think that these things are pre-planned and you're in on it.
So it completely caught me off guard. I hated the way they edited that scene because, first of all, you can't walk up to me and my husband and say anything without me being like, what? What are you talking about?
The entire Love and Hip Hop universe is in flames right now because the second that shocking DNA test hit the internet confirming that Mendeecees Harris is the biological father of Erica Mena's youngest child, everything that fans thought they knew about loyalty, marriage, motherhood, and family got destroyed in real time. And baby. The fallout did not stop there. According to insiders, the moment producers showed Yandy the real behind-the-scenes footage, the late-night sneaking, the off-camera meetings, the whispered conversations Mendeecees swore never happened. She didn't cry, she didn't collapse, she didn't freeze. Sis stood up, stormed out, walked straight through production like a woman possessed, and the next thing anyone knew, she was pounding on Erica Mena's dressing room door so hard the makeup lights rattled, yelling, "Open it! Now!" Witnesses say Erica smirked the second she saw her, which was the last thing Yandy needed. One comment too slick, one eyebrow too high, one sentence too sharp. You had years to ask questions. I just gave you answers. And Yandy snapped. She lunged, grabbed hair, threw Erica into the counter, wigs flying, security sprinting, makeup kits smashed. Producers yelling to cut the cameras while the entire set fell into chaos. And here's the gag. While the blogs were still screaming about the fight, more leaks dropped. A voicemail from Mendeecees whispering, "I can't let Yandy find out like this." Footage of him wiping his face after the DNA confirmation. And his own friend going live admitting Mendeecees Ben knew the truth long before it became public. Now fans are asking the real question, why did he lie? Why did he hide it? And how deep was the connection between him and Erica? Because this isn't just a scandal. This is a betrayal earthquake blowing up marriages, friendships, and the entire franchise. And trust me, the real mess hasn't even started. Long before Yandy stormed down that hallway, like a woman whose entire world had just been ripped open, long before security had to peel her off Erica Mena and producers scrambled to lock down footage that could end careers, there was a complicated emotional history between all three of them, Yandy, Mendeecees, and Erica, that viewers only ever saw tiny fragments of on Love and Hip Hop, not realizing how deep the wounds actually went. Because for Yandy, loyalty wasn't just a buzzword. Loyalty was survival. She stood by Mendeecees when everyone told her to leave, raised his children, carried the family while he was behind bars, kept the businesses intact, kept the brand alive, and fought off every rumor, every blog headline, every troll accusing her of being delusional or doing too much for a man who wasn't doing enough for her. She believed in him. She bet on him. She held her household together through years of prison phone calls, commissary payments, supervised visits, and long nights sitting alone, wondering if he'd ever come home the same man he left. And when he did come home, she welcomed him with open arms. She rebuilt trust. She protected him from negativity. She defended him against the world. What she didn't know, what she never expected, was that the real threat wasn't outside their marriage, but inside it. While she was fighting for him, he was hiding something from her. And not just something small or petty or forgettable. He was hiding a life-altering truth involving a woman he had a messy history with, Erica Mena. And that history wasn't light drama the way the show made it seem. It was complicated, tense, emotional, and rooted in moments that happened years before cameras were there to capture them. People forget that Erica and Yandy were friendly once, at least friendly enough to share space, share stories, share laughter on set. They weren't besties, but there was mutual respect until the first rumor of Mendeecees and Erica surfaced. At the time, Yandy brushed it off because she had bigger things to worry about. Her husband was facing prison, her kids were emotional, and her heart was already heavy. But deep down, that rumor left a bruise she never acknowledged. Fast forward to after Mendeecees came home. Yandy was trying to rebuild her family, while Erica was rebuilding her own life after divorces, breakups, and public heartbreaks. They moved in different circles, but the energy between them always felt off. Icy smiles, stiff hellos, shady confessionals that felt too pointed to be random. Fans assumed it was petty reality TV tension, but insiders say Yandy always suspected there was something deeper, something she didn't know about. Meanwhile, Mendeecees had been carrying guilt quietly, the kind that eats at you in the middle of the night, the kind that makes you overly defensive, overly quiet, overly distant. He wanted to be a better man for Yandy, but he'd built that better man image on top of a secret foundation, and secrets always find new ways to seep through the cracks. And then there was Erica, fiery, emotional, impulsive, honest to a fault, and tired of being painted as the villain every time a man lies to protect his home. She had her own history of heartbreak, betrayal, and being dragged in the blogs for things she didn't always do. So when she found herself pregnant and unsure, she went looking for answers, not drama. And the moment she saw the child's face and recognized Mendeecees' features, she knew the truth could destroy everything. She didn't want to hurt Yandy, she didn't want to blow up families, but she also wasn't going to lie about her child's identity. And when Mendeecees told her, "I just need time to tell her," she believed him. She trusted him. She thought he would do the right thing. Instead, he stayed silent. He kept playing Happy Family on reality TV while Erica carried the truth alone. He ignored her messages. He skipped conversations. He told her to keep things quiet until he was ready. And she did, until the blogs got hold of the DNA report she submitted to production. And that's where the real emotional earthquake began. Not when the DNA test came out, but when Yandy realized every woman she defended her husband from wasn't lying this time. The moment that DNA test hit the production office, everything Yandy thought she understood about her marriage, her loyalty, and her place in Mendeecees' life shattered like a wine glass on concrete, because she didn't just learn the truth from a blog post or a cast member running their mouth. She learned it from the very people she trusted to protect her storyline. The producers who pulled her aside after filming a completely unrelated scene and said, "Yandy, we need to show you something off the record." And when she walked into that tiny, dimly lit editing room and saw a freeze frame of Erica and Mendeecees together, offset, late at night, looking way too comfortable for two people who were supposedly just talking, something inside her chest locked up so tightly she could barely breathe. The producers didn't say much. They didn't have to. They pressed play, and the raw footage told the story. Mendeecees slipping away from group scenes, telling production he needed a minute, walking down hallways, whispering into his phone, checking his surroundings, meeting Erica near trailers, talking low, wiping his face like a man who knew he was doing something wrong. And then came the final clip, the one that made Yandy's eyes fill instantly with heat and disbelief. Mendeecees holding a small envelope in his hand, the same envelope Erica had submitted containing the DNA results, and saying to her, "I can't let her find out like this, not right now." Yandy froze. She couldn't even blink. Producers slowly paused the footage, and all she could hear was her own heartbeat pounding in her ears. Every rumor she ever brushed off, every messy comment Erica ever made, every shady scene, every small, uncomfortable moment. It all made sense now, and before she could even speak, before she could even curse, before she could even process the betrayal, One of the editors gently slid a printed copy of the DNA results across the desk. Yandy didn't pick it up. She didn't move. She didn't cry. She just whispered, "He knew, and said nothing." And that whisper turned into a storm, because the conflict wasn't just the DNA. It was the lies, the silence, the performances, the way Mendeecees let her defend him for years while hiding something that big. The deeper betrayal wasn't that he had a child. It was that he kept the truth from her while standing next to her in every scene, preaching loyalty and honesty like he was the poster boy for redemption. And then came the twist no one saw coming, the voicemail. Everyone assumed the leaked voicemail came from Erica trying to expose him, but nope, producers had the original file, and it came directly from Mendeecees' own phone. He left that voicemail for Erica the day he agreed to take the DNA test, voice trembling, whispering urgently, "I'm not ready for her to know. Please, not yet. I need time to figure out what to say." It wasn't the voicemail of a man being set up. It was the voicemail of a man caught between guilt and fear. The voicemail of a man trying to control the timing of his truth. And the worst part? He sent it after he told Yandy he was heading out to handle business. Meanwhile, the woman sitting in the middle of the storm, Erica, had her own story. Production confronted her off camera, asking whether she leaked the DNA results herself. She denied it instantly and said, "I handed that file to production. I didn't leak anything. Y'all did." But then she said something that flipped the entire narrative. He saw the baby. He cried. He knew. He said it out loud. And she wasn't alone. Dre, Mendeecees' longtime friend, confirmed in an Instagram Live that Mendeecees confided in him months ago, saying he had a gut feeling the child was his and that he was terrified of losing Yandy. So while Yandy was defending her husband, wiping the sweat off his forehead, holding him down, dealing with public criticism, building their family brand, supporting his transition home, he was carrying a truth he had no intention of revealing until he was forced. And that secret didn't just shake Yandy emotionally. It triggered everything inside her that she had buried for years during his incarceration. Fear, insecurity, heartbreak, resentment, sacrifice, and exhaustion. She remembered the nights she cried alone while he slept soundly on the other end of the prison phone, the sacrifices she made, the opportunities she turned down, the ways she put his needs above her own. And now, she was realizing he didn't respect her enough to trust her with the truth. Meanwhile, Erica's version of the story wasn't as messy as the blogs made it sound. She said Mendeecees wasn't some manipulative mastermind. He was scared, petrified, torn apart by guilt, and that guilt kept him from being honest with the one person he owed everything to, his wife. But when Erica revealed that he ordered the DNA test, he gave the sample, he asked for updates, and he cried when the confirmation came in. That was the twist that broke the internet. Because if he knew all along, why let the world spin this narrative like it was a setup? Why let Yandy attack Erica when it wasn't even her fault? Why hide behind silence? Why wait until cameras were rolling to confess? That's the question that turned Yandy's pain into rage. Because the betrayal wasn't just the baby. It was the cowardice, the secrecy, the behind-the-scenes sneakiness, the emotional manipulation, the way he let another woman carry his truth alone. And when producers finally asked Yandy if she wanted to confront Erica on camera or off, she chose off. When Yandy walked out of that editing room, holding herself together by the thinnest thread, the entire hallway fell silent because everyone could feel the shift. She wasn't trembling. She wasn't confused. She wasn't even crying. She was focused, locked in, moving with the kind of cold, determined energy you only see in a woman who has hit her breaking point and is done playing nice. And the second she rounded the corner and saw Erica's dressing room door half open, talking and laughing with her makeup artist like nothing in the world was wrong, Yandy's chest tightened so violently she felt her heartbeat in her teeth. She didn't knock. She didn't announce herself. She didn't wait for cameras or confessional setups or producer instructions. She simply pushed the door wide open and stepped inside, her eyes sharp enough to cut through steel. Erica's smirk dropped for exactly 1 second, just one, before she raised her chin and leaned back like she had been expecting this moment all along. "You really couldn't wait, huh?" Yandy said, her voice so calm it was scarier than screaming. Erica crossed her arms, lifted one eyebrow, and said evenly, "You had years to ask questions, Yandy. I just gave you answers." That one sentence detonated something inside Yandy's soul. Because it wasn't the words, it was the tone, the dismissiveness, the implication that Yandy was blind, naive, stupid for trusting a man she built her entire life around. And before anyone could blink, Yandy stepped forward, grabbed Erica's wrist, and hissed, "You don't ever talk to me about my marriage." That was the moment Erica pulled her arm back and said, "Then you should have asked your husband instead of blaming me." And boom, the room exploded. Yandy lunged so fast the makeup artist screamed and dove into a corner. Erica reached up to block, but Yandy already had a fistful of hair, dragging her backward as makeup brushes flew across the floor. Security came sprinting in, but these were 2 grown women fighting with years of emotional baggage behind them. This wasn't a little slap or a reality TV shove. This was pure, raw, unfiltered heartbreak and fury clashing in one room. Erica pushed back, knocking a whole ring light into the wall. Yandy pinned her against the vanity, yelling, "You ruined everything! You ruined my family!" Erica screamed back, "He lied to you, not me!" And that was the second major twist, because in that moment, when the room was chaos, when security was grabbing waistlines and elbows, when producers were yelling, "Stop, stop, stop," Erica shouted something nobody expected. "I told him to tell you. I begged him to tell you." Everything froze. Yandy's hands loosened. Security paused. Even Erica seemed stunned at her own confession. And then she said the line that changed the entire trajectory of the scandal. "I didn't ruin your family. He did." Yandy stumbled backward like the words hit her harder than any punch could. Because deep down, she knew it was true. Every piece of evidence, every message, every voicemail pointed to the same thing. This wasn't Erica versus Yandy. This was Yandy versus the truth. But before anyone could process the emotional wreckage left in that room, a producer rushed in breathlessly saying, "Stop everything. We just received new footage." Everyone froze again. Erica wiped tears. Yandy backed away with her chest heaving. Security blocked the doorway, and the producer, shaking, held up a tablet with paused footage. "This was recorded the same day he took the DNA test," she said, "and you both need to see this." Yandy swallowed hard. Erica looked sick. And when the producer hit play, the second twist of the storyline hit like an explosion. The footage showed Mendeecees leaving the testing facility, not alone, but with a woman neither of them recognized, a woman holding the baby, a woman Erica clearly wasn't, a woman whispering into his ear as he hugged her, a woman he promised to handle everything for. Erica covered her mouth in shock. Yandy nearly collapsed because the twist wasn't that the baby was his. The twist was that the baby's mother wasn't who Yandy or Erica thought it was. Meaning, there was another woman in the equation, another secret, another betrayal, and another child tied to Mendeecees' name. The entire room erupted, not in violence this time, but in sheer disbelief, because this changed everything. By the time the footage of Mendeecees leaving the DNA facility with that unknown woman leaked, the entire Love and Hip Hop universe practically imploded because fans weren't ready for the plot to twist this hard, this fast, and in this direction. And the fallout hit everybody: cast, producers, families, and the internet, with the force of a hurricane. The second the clip hit the blogs, social media went nuclear. Twitter threads firing off, TikTok detectives zooming into every frame, Reddit going feral trying to identify the mystery woman, and Instagram comments turning into full-blown war zones with people screaming, "Who is she?" and "Not another baby, Lord." And while fans were losing their minds online, the cast was losing their minds in real life, because word spread quick that this wasn't Erica's child at all, meaning the entire fight between Yandy and Erica, the screaming, the hair-pulling, the emotions, the accusations, all of it, was about the wrong woman. Yandy was reportedly pacing back and forth in her trailer, shaking, crying, furious, betrayed on a level she didn't even have words for, because now she wasn't just dealing with one lie, or one secret, or one betrayal. She was dealing with a web of deception that involved a completely different woman who had apparently been in Mendeecees' life quietly, off camera, unnoticed, unmentioned, for months. And when the mystery woman's identity began circulating in private group chats, rumored to be someone who worked at a lounge Mendeecees frequented, things got even messier. Meanwhile, Erica Mena was livid, not because she wanted drama, but because she had been dragged through hell for a child that wasn't even hers, blamed for a situation she wasn't connected to, attacked by Yandy, and painted as the villain in a storyline that never belonged to her. She hit Instagram with a low-key cryptic post, a single black heart with the caption, "Truth always reveals itself," and fans flooded her comments apologizing for assuming she was the mother. But the most chaotic reaction came from the Love and Hip Hop production team, because they suddenly realized the storyline they thought they were filming had just shape-shifted into something 10 times bigger, darker, and more explosive. Meetings were held. Executives panicked. Editors were instructed to lock down all footage related to the DNA storyline. Several producers began whispering about pulling episodes entirely because the legal implications of exposing the wrong mother on national TV could cause lawsuits. And on the fans' side, the internet was already treating this like a puzzle to solve. People started stitching videos of Mendeecees' past scenes, looking for clues. Some fans swore they saw the same woman serving drinks in a background shot from last season. Others insisted she wasn't new at all, that she had been around before prison. Conspiracy theories exploded, but the most devastating fallout was happening behind closed doors. Yandy reportedly refused to film for 48 hours, staying off social media completely while the blogs tore her marriage apart. Castmates sent messages, some supportive, some messy, some pretending to care so they could scoop information, but Yandy went radio silent. Meanwhile, Mendeecees' phone was blowing up nonstop. Crew calling, friends calling, family calling, producers calling, Yandy calling, none of which he answered. And that silence is what made the situation feel 10 times worse. Then, late that night, the fallout hit the streets. The mystery woman herself made a private Instagram story addressed to the truth. She didn't show her face, didn't reveal her name, but her voice was shaking as she said, "I didn't want it to come out like this. I asked him to tell his wife. I asked him to do the right thing. I never asked for this drama." That clip spread like wildfire. Suddenly, the internet wasn't dragging her. They were dragging him. Fans wrote, "He's the problem. Yandy deserved better. Erica was right this whole time. This man created a whole franchise worth of lies. and the pressure on Mendeecees reached boiling point. Even cast members began openly reacting. Safari posted a shady laughing emoji. Kimbella went live saying, "Nothing surprises me anymore." And even Chrissy Lampkin dropped a cryptic comment hinting, "Men will embarrass you in ways you didn't even know were possible." The fallout was massive, emotional, devastating. And the worst part? The real truth was still coming. Just when the internet thought they had finally pieced the puzzle together, just when fans started dragging the mystery woman, consoling Erica, and praying for Yandy, the biggest twist of the entire scandal dropped. A twist so insane, so unexpected, so reality TV ending that even producers reportedly shut down filming for a full 24 hours to figure out what to do next. Because while everyone was blaming Mendeecees, dissecting the leaked footage, replaying the hallway fight, and analyzing every detail of his life, the real shock came from someone nobody even suspected, the mystery woman herself, who decided she wasn't going to stay silent anymore. She didn't drop a messy Instagram live. She didn't post a dramatic story. No, she sent a private email directly to production, to Yandy, and to Erica, and someone from the inside leaked the entire thing. And baby, it flipped everything. Because in the email, the mystery woman revealed the truth nobody saw coming. The baby wasn't the result of a recent affair. It happened years ago, before Mendeecees went to prison, meaning the child wasn't a new betrayal. It was an old one that had been buried, hidden, and left unresolved. And the twist hit even harder when she wrote, "I told him years ago. He said he'd tell Yandy himself. He said the timing had to be right. Years. That meant the whole time Yandy was holding down the house, taking care of the kids, fighting bloggers, visiting him in prison, supporting him publicly, defending him in interviews. He was sitting on a child she didn't know about. The betrayal wasn't recent, it was historic." And then came the line that blew up every group chat, every cast iMessage thread, every PR office in VH1. "I reached out to Erica because she told me she'd been through something similar. She was never the mother. She was my confidant." Boom! Erica wasn't the enemy. Erica wasn't the other woman. Erica wasn't even involved with Mendeecees physically at all. She was helping the real mother navigate the emotional bomb she knew would eventually explode. That's why the footage showed Erica and Mendeecees meeting privately. That's why he whispered to her. That's why she kept saying, "I didn't leak anything." Because she wasn't hiding her child. She was protecting someone else's. And here's the part that sent everyone into a spiral. The email included a screenshot of a message from Mendeecees to the mystery woman that read, "Erica said she'll help us figure out how to tell her. Just don't say anything yet." That was the twist that destroyed the narrative producers had been pushing. Erica wasn't the villain. Yandy wasn't crazy. The mystery woman wasn't clout chasing. Mendeecees was the one quietly orchestrating who knew what, when they knew it, and how much they were allowed to say. And when Yandy read that, sources say she didn't cry, she didn't scream, she didn't even respond. She just stared at the screen like she was watching her entire life rearrange itself. But the cliffhanger gets even worse, because production leaked one more detail. The DNA facility footage from earlier, the part where he hugged the mystery woman, that wasn't a hug of two people caught cheating. It was a hug of two people panicking because the truth was about to explode. And in the background of that same clip, someone else appeared. Someone who wasn't supposed to be there. Someone who saw everything. Infinity. Yandy's adopted daughter, her silhouette, her hoodie, her face, watching it all from the corner of the hallway, meaning she knew the truth first and kept quiet. And that is the final cliffhanger, because if Infinity knew, what else does she know? And why did she stay silent? And now that the truth has blown the entire storyline wide open, the years-old betrayal, the hidden child, the mystery woman finally stepping forward, Erica being revealed as a confidant instead of the villain, and Infinity being caught on camera watching everything unfold before anyone else knew, we're left standing in the middle of the biggest love and hip-hop earthquake the franchise has ever seen, wondering who knew what, who lied first, and how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Because if Infinity saw that moment at the DNA facility, what else did she see? What conversations did she overhear? What messages did she catch glimpses of while walking past open doors? And more importantly, why didn't she tell Yandy, the woman who loved her, raised her, fought for her, and gave her stability? Was she protecting Mendeecees? Was she scared? Or was she keeping a secret of her own? And now we're all left here asking the real questions. Can Yandy's marriage survive a betrayal that didn't just last months, but years? Will Mendeecees finally come clean about how deep this goes? Will the mystery woman speak out publicly? Will Erica expose every message she was holding to protect someone else's truth? And when will Infinity step forward and explain what she saw and why she stayed silent? Drop your theories in the comments because this story is nowhere near over. Hit that like button if your jaw is still on the floor. Subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this insane saga. And share this video with someone who needs to catch up on the mess. Because if you thought this was wild, wait until you hear what happens when Infinity finally breaks her silence.